Welcome, everybody. John Zager, good morning. 9:30, Colorado time, Eastern Slope. Overcast. Supposed to rain today, so it said. Thunder showers or something. 69 degrees. Supposed to stay cooler. I believe it's only supposed to get up to 83 today. So we have a couple days where it's going to get cooler. One day of rain, and the other days are just cooler. So that's all good, yeah? How is everybody? I have been busy. Did a podcast yesterday. It turned out pretty good, actually, and pretty happy about that. And wanted to do a short podcast this morning on cells, C-E-L-L-S. Kind of a, I don't know, information about cells in our body, 101 kind of thing. I'm not a scientist that studies cells, but I do have obviously enough research that I've been doing to understand a little bit about cells that might be interesting to some of you, and how they impact and influence our health. So I'm going to take it from a couple different standpoints, but it's just going to be basic stuff. And please listen along because I think it's good. So there's a dispute as to how many cells are in the human body. There seems to be the information out there that says that there's 37.5 trillion cells in the human body. And I've seen that number in print on the internet as high as 50 trillion cells in the body. And I've heard it spoken both ways, both numbers, from 37.5 to 50, and I don't know, I might even have heard one person venture with a number even higher than that. I'm not quite sure that one's correct, but we'll go a short 50 trillion cells for our purposes. And the thing that I found kind of interesting and exciting to read about was that each cell, and Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about this, excuse me, extensively. But each cell, and I'm going to exaggerate to make a point, all right, as he does, is like a person, has all the same bodily functions as you and I do. So, in listening and reading and trying to comprehend, the actual factual parts of it, they have a digestive system. They have a brain, and they're capable of communicating with each other. As a matter of fact, they absolutely communicate with each other. They have a respiratory system. They have a heart, a circulatory system. Main things. Each cell has functions similar to what you and I have, as I just described. So, and again, when you listen to Dr. Bruce Lipton, he describes it very, very well. in that we're not one, but we are a community of people. So you are a community of 50 trillion little people or less. Isn't that cool? I'm drinking, I put half and half today. It's hot coffee in my thermos mug, and it's half and half. So, I don't know. It's pretty good. So cells communicate amongst each other, right? The cells in different parts of your brain communicate with cells in various parts of your heart, your lung, your kidneys, your liver, your digestive system, your muscles, all over your bone, all over your body. All the parts of your body are comprised of cells. And each cell communicates to another cell or group or cluster of cells so that things are regulated. Long time ago, not a terribly long time ago, but quite a while ago, I used to think, I never even had the thought, it never entered my brain that how things regulate inside my body. Because I'm not a doctor, I'm not an MD. I never bothered to comprehend that. And then all of a sudden I came to the understanding that somehow all the different parts of your body, the organs of your body, all the vital parts of your body need to communicate with one another so that, I don't know if homeostasis is a word, but, so that you're in balance. Or if things are out of whack, your cells communicate to other cells. Either they're good or the others are good, or they're bad and the others are bad, or vice versa. There needs to be a communication amongst the cells. Not all cells are healthy cells, I come to find out. We think in terms of cells when we go to the doctor, have blood work done, and, you have your red cell count and your white cell count. And, I always kind of understood that basic principle. And that's where the majority of cells are. I mean, a lot of your cells are in your blood, right? And back then, I used to understand and comprehend that not all cells are healthy and well. Now, what we do in our program, you and I, in our program of Dr. Joe's, is that we've learned how to upregulate and downregulate cells. Right? There's a little formula. We've gone through it time and time again, and we'll go through it time and time again in the future. Happy to do it. But we've learned to be able to down-regulate, flush out of our bodies, our systems, unhealthy, let's say diseased genes, which are comprised of cells. right? And in turn, we've learned, yes, how to upregulate or bring into our body healthy genes. When I say genes, I'm talking about cells that can prevent disease and build a stronger immune system. All right? So sometimes, actually it's not sometimes, I think this is pretty much a fact according to science, and my readings is that cells wear out. They get old. They deteriorate, and in a sense they die out. Right? And we, you and I, this is also science now and research, have the ability, are you ready for this one? And this should come as no surprise to anybody, but we have the ability to affect the quality of our cells. So, cells can get old, cells can get worn out, cells can deteriorate, cells can become negative, cells can become diseased, cells can die. Through thought alone, we can influence that and turn it in a more positive direction so that we're strengthening ourselves to better inhibit disease and ill health. Let me use an example of that. Your immune system. Depending on how strong your immune system is, you may get colds periodically. You may be more susceptible to getting a cold, right? Run down. You may be the person who gets the flu every winter, right? Your immune system is not very strong. And then, have you met the people, and of course you have you met the people out there who, they don't ever have a cold? I don't ever remember seeing him or her with a cold. I don't remember him or her ever saying they had the flu. You ever been around the coworker who is always there and never sick? My dad was that way. This is kind of interesting. My dad worked at a company for, I don't know, let's call it 40 years. I don't remember. His whole life was at one job. Never missed a day of work, to the best of my knowledge. I don't ever recall him being sick, not going to work because he's sick. I think he had a couple, kind of minor things, surgeries or procedures or whatever, but where he might have missed a day or two here and there, but he was never sick. His attitude was, and he never said this, He never really said this, but he inferred it. And it's not a polite thing to say. He didn't believe people needed to be sick, right? He sort of, without saying it, felt that people that get sick are somewhat weak. I hate to tell him this, but that's absolutely true. Their care of their cells is very weak. Their immune system is very weak. So he was actually correct. I mean, he never said it out loud, but he was actually correct. People who are kind of weak and timid don't have a real strong immune system. From my dealings and goings around and stuff of that nature, I think that's true. So, I said through thought alone, we can influence the health of ourselves, right? I think that's true. I think you can meditate. What's his name? There's a guy on YouTube that is very, very good. I'm going to put a plug in for him. I think his name's Christopher Stevens or Chris Stevenson. Something like that. He's very good. All he does is meditation. He just comes up with meditation after meditations, and he puts them on the YouTube for free. And he's probably the best out there. I listen to a lot of his meditations. He actually has a meditation for healing. Don't laugh on this one, you guys. On healing your cells. And in turn, healing your body. Think about it, think about it, think about it. If you're sick or sickly or diseased, your cells, not all 50 trillion cells, but, there's some cells that are unhealthy, damaged, or dead, or not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Right? And Stevenson, I believe his last name is, talks about, and he's a pretty well-read kind of guy. He talks about through meditation and his research, people can influence the quality of your cells. In other words, you can strengthen them, build them up, make them healthy. By making your cells healthy through thought, and again, we're using meditation here to spend time to communicate directly with your cells. If your cells are healthy, then your body is healthy. Example. I'm not a doctor, MD. I'm not. So, I'm just telling you from the viewpoint of an elderly man. I'm not a kid, all right? As you get older, your prostate as a male enlarges, right? It doesn't mean you have cancer. It has nothing to do with cancer. But what your prostate is comprised of cells. I don't know how many cells are there. No idea. But remember what I was saying earlier is that cells become damaged. They deteriorate. They wear out. They die. My philosophy, now this is my spin on this. This is my unprofessional research that I'm going to present to you. Oh, God. I've been able, through meditation, now don't fall off the chair when I say this, to improve my prostate. And what I mean by that, I in layman's terms, I believe I've been able to reduce the size of my prostate through thought alone, by using meditation and influencing the cellular, structure in my prostate. I know that I've reduced it in size because it's not doing what it used to do. The effects of having an enlarged prostate create effects, right? It's not doing some of that stuff to the degree that it used to. As a result of me meditating through thought alone and trying to have an impact on the cells in my prostate. That's science to me. For me and me only, I've been able to reverse some of that. And I'm going to call that damage when your prostate enlarges. I don't know. I don't know what the medical terms are. But, some of that is damaged. And I believe I've been able to reverse some of the cellular damage to my prostate. If there's a doctor out there listening, comment on that. Friday I take call-ins. By all means, 11 o'clock I do my podcast on Fridays, and I take call-ins. But you can call in today. If you're listening to this right now, just call in right now and I'll answer your phone. I'll answer your call right here because I'm live on air as we speak. Or if you know a doctor or know a scientist or know somebody in biology or something, or chemistry or whatever, ask them and have them contact me and tell me. I stand by what I've been doing because it works. It's worked for me. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that, you can impact the quality of your cells based on your thoughts. That's kind of what our whole program is about anyway, is healing ourselves through thought alone. So there you go. Pretty good information about cells, huh? You find that interesting? I just think that's fascinating. We'll probably do some more about that because I think there's a lot more to be learned out there. So hopefully it'll rain this afternoon. I sure hope so. That'll be good. I enjoy the rain. Hope you all have a good day. God bless one another. Take care of each other. And I'll look forward to talking to you all again real soon. See you. Bye.